guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we've got voiceover kit. So this video is mainly me fixing up my Twice binder because I made some major changes, but here in the beginning and a little bit later I actually am in my girl groups binder because I was kind of adjusting my IJ1 collection because I also didn't really make a major change. I just kind of went back to what I was doing before I downsized a little. So really quickly I want to explain that. So this video is me just kind of making fillers for things that I'm trying to collect because I don't know, I just really needed to organize my binder so I could see what I'm still missing and not have like empty spaces of like things that won't exist. So I mainly just like made fillers and placeholders telling me like what is supposed to go here, or if nothing's supposed to go there, putting like a filler to fill that spot so I wasn't confused. So for my IJ1 collection, I decided to go back to collecting Hitomi, which is, so I'm not really sure how I want to do this, because originally I was collecting Cheon, Yana, and Hitomi, and then I switched Eunbi for Hitomi because I decided Eunbi was my alt bias in the group. But I really do miss Hitomi and like collecting her, and I still feel like she is probably one of my biases. I don't know, she really catches my attention still. So the reason I just downsized was because I think out of Yana, Cheon, and Hitomi, I just really wanted to collect the other girls more, and I definitely wanted to collect Eunbi, and I felt like collecting 4 members for this group was a little much. But recently I decided to add IZ*ONE to my alt list, so they are one of my alt groups now. They are my second alt girl group right after Twice, so I decided it'd be okay in my head to go back to collecting Hitomi, so that's what I decided to do, and I'm really excited about it. So basically what I'm doing is I had to add in things for that, but another thing that I did, I'm just now looking at the screen, I actually also decided to collect another member for ITZY. I kind of forgot that's what I decided to do first. I'm really sorry about that. But I decided to collect Leah for ITZY as well as Yeji because I feel like Leah and Yeji are probably now tied for my bias because recently I've just been trying to get myself like way more into ITZY. And I just like have found that while I'm watching all these videos and things, I'm really growing attached to Leah as well as Yeji. And Yeji is also a really hard member to collect. So I decided if I had some Yeji and some Leah, then I would be pretty happy with my ITZY collection. So not entirely collecting either of them. So it's still kind of collecting one member. I'm still collecting the same amount of cards. But in my binder, I did set up as if I was collecting all of the cards for each of them. But I just wanted to kind of visualize what they have and then like take that and see what I want to collect, and like if I have, I don't know, like a satisfying amount to me. I don't really know how to explain it. It just like would make sense to me, I guess, because my brain's weird. But I did set up my ITZY stuff, but so yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so I fixed my ITZY stuff and I set all that up so Leah is in my binder. But for IZ*ONE, I did decide to alt them, so I have Hitomi back in my binder, which I'm really excited about. I have really missed her, and like with their new album, I bought 2 copies of the album, 2 sets of the album, so I have 6 of the album, so I definitely have enough cards where I could like collect some of all of them. So, and I pulled a decent amount of Hitomi in both my group order and my original pulls, and it was just like heartbreaking to trade off Hitomi. So I decided I would just keep her because I love her. So I'm really excited about alting IZ*ONE. So now I have 3 alt groups, which is 17, Twice, and IZ*ONE. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. But now, as you will see later in the video, I majorly changed up my Twice collection, and I'm like scared about it, but at the same time I'm not. Like, it feels really good, and I think that's what you should be doing with your collections. Like, it should be exciting and fun for you to be collecting, and I found a way for it to be really exciting and fun, so I'm okay with it. But it might be weird considering that Twice is higher than IZ*ONE, and I am now collecting more members for IZ*ONE than Twice, which is kind of weird. But at the same time, I'm pretty happy with it considering like how many cards Twice has now for each member because they have so many albums. I'm sure that as IZ*ONE, like they're not like a permanent group, they're a temporary group. So I'm sure as like once they unfortunately disband, I will probably be able to expand then on my Twice collection because I will no longer be really collecting IZ*ONE. So that's why I'm not really too worried about it right now. Like I will probably eventually be able to collect more for Twice. But yeah, so basically what I did for Twice is I decided to no longer collect Tzuyu and Chaeyoung. Really, for me, Twice is like the group I have switched biases the most with. And I'm not saying that I don't like Chaeyoung and Tzuyu anymore. I just don't feel like they're my biases anymore. I feel like they've mainly just been wreckers and like, yeah, I don't know. I've basically gone back to my original Twice biases, which are Mina and Dahyun. So you guys know that Dahyun is like my biggest wrecker, but I feel like she's just kind of a bias now. Like every time I would pull cards or join group orders, I'd just be looking at Dahyun's cards more than Chaeyoung and Tzuyu, and I was like, maybe I should just collect 2 members for now. And I also, again, since Twice has so many cards, it was just kind of getting expensive for me, and I'm trying to like not spend too much on one group, except 17 because they're my alt of alts. But like for everyone else, even Twice and IZ*ONE, I didn't want to be spending too much because I want to be able to collect other groups, you know? So if I'm collecting less of one group, then I can collect more groups like in total. So that's kind of what I decided to do. So I basically took out all of my Chaeyoung and Tzuyu cards. I honestly wasn't collecting them fully anyway. I was only collecting them from, I think it was like What Is Love forward, except like Twice Coaster, Lane 1, like the TT stuff, like those I completed already. And like Merry and Happy. So yeah. But since I did get rid of Chaeyoung and Tzuyu, that means I can fully collect Dahyun as well with Mina, so I'm really excited about that. And I did decide that if I were to go back and collect a third member, it would probably be my other original Twice bias, which is Jihyo. I just have always loved her, and she's always been my wrecker. Honestly, I'm not even kidding. The reason I stopped biasing her was because all of my friends were biasing her, and I was just like, well, if I bias Jihyo too, I'm not going to have anyone to trade with because they're either going to want Jihyo or like they're not going to want to trade with me, or I'm going to get Jihyo and then I would feel bad for not like trading with them for Jihyo, even though like, I don't know, it's kind of silly. So I basically was just like, I don't want to be like everyone else, so I'm not going to bias Jihyo, even though she was my original bias. I like changed it simply because it seemed to me that like everyone else was biasing Jihyo, which is silly. I don't know why I think like that sometimes. I feel like I try to not bias a certain member because they're so popular, but I don't know. I just kind of threw that out the window and was like, I don't care. I'm going to bias who I want. So basically, like literally in the beginning, when I first started standing Twice, I had 4 members in mind for bias. It was Nayeon, Mina, Jihyo, and Dahyun. And I'm basically back to the beginning. I was circled. I used to, so like one of my most popular unboxings is my Twice Fancy unboxing. And I think at the time I was collecting Nayeon, Dahyun, and Mina maybe, or maybe it was Chaeyoung. I don't really know. But basically in Twice, I've just kind of like biased everyone at this point. So it's because they're my alt group and I just like can never decide. So I decided I would now just finally pick who I really, really want to collect. But I did the same thing when I was like joining group orders and just looking at cards that I want and like picking the OT9 sets that I wanted to collect. I would always be based on how cute Jihyo and Dahyun's cards were because I wanted them. So I was like, why don't I just go back to biasing them? Like that's who I started with. I don't know why I changed it. I mean, I changed it because I didn't want to be biasing them like everyone else, but like I don't care about that anymore. I think that's silly. So yeah, and like that's the other thing. I didn't really want to be spending too much money on Chaeyoung and Chewy cards because I just felt like they weren't really my true biases. And like I don't know why I've struggled with this, why I've done this, like not wanting to bias certain members because I feel like they're too popular or whatever. Like I really don't know why I think like that. I don't know why I can't just bias whoever I want to bias. Like at this point it just doesn't even seem like I have biases because I'm just picking members to like bias. But I've decided to just like not do that. I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to be like basic or like everyone if I'm biasing the really popular members. But I think that's a silly way to think about it. So I'm just not going to think about it that way. I genuinely don't know why I think like that. But yeah, so right now I'm just looking to collect Mina and Dahyun. But if I do get to the point where Dahyun is either almost complete or fully complete and I still want to collect for Twice, I will probably add in my third member as Jihyo. Something I also did decide is to collect a little bit more OT9 sets. Like for Fancy, that was the first comeback, so I wanted to collect like basically half the sets I'm collecting is like I'm only collecting 5 cards like solo of Mina, and like the other 6 sets I think it is I'm collecting OT9, so like almost collecting OT9 for the full album, but not really, just like some OT9 sets. But for Twicestagram, I did have Mina, Chaeyoung, and Chewy sets complete, and then I still needed to buy 2 albums, and my sister actually bought them for me, so I decided to just go ahead and collect OT9, like all of the photo cards for Likey, like Twicestagram, because that was the very first Twice song I ever heard, and that's what made me stan them. So that's a really special album to me, so I'm collecting OT9 for that. So that's another thing that I've liked, is that since I'm giving up my Chaeyoung and Chewy collection, I can collect more OT9 sets and like basically not fully collect OT9, but be like a semi OT9 collector for Twice, which is pretty, like, I don't know, it's really exciting for me. Like I'm glad I'm doing that because I do really love Twice, and like I said, they're my second alt group, my alt girl group, so I am happy that I get to collect a lot more of them. So yeah, basically I just wanted to come in and say this because I have been like leading up to finishing my Twice collection, and then really recently I decided to switch my collection around. So I basically came to say I changed it and that I won't be finishing my Twice collection soon. I might be able to finish it somewhat soon because now I'm only trying to basically complete Dahyun because Mina is practically complete. I'm literally missing 1 card. So it's just kind of catching up Dahyun on everything. So that might be a little bit easier because at this point it's basically like I'm just collecting 1 member, and I have a lot of Chaeyoung and Chewy that I can sell and trade for Dahyun things that I need. So hopefully I can complete her fast. But I also did want to say that if Twice do have a Korean comeback soon, then I'm going to collect Mina, Dahyun, and Jihyo, depending on how much of them I pull and like what the photo card situation looks like. Like it's if like Fancy and Yes or Yes and Feel Special where you get like 6 cards per album, then I'll probably collect all 3 of them. But if it's like, I don't know, like, wow, wait, I can't even think of an album that like the Year of Yes, where you only get 3 photo cards, then I might not collect all 3 of them. I might just collect Mina and Dahyun, or maybe even just Mina. Kind of really depends on like if they do have a Korean comeback and like what the photo card situation is and like how many you get per album and that kind of thing. I might or might not collect all 3 of them, but I will for sure be collecting Mina and Dahyun. I don't know, I'm just really excited about it. I think I don't know, I feel really happy about my Twice collection now. Like I feel like it's truly like my Twice biases. And again, I don't know why I thought I couldn't bias Jihyo and Dahyun because it felt like everyone was biasing them and like I didn't want to bias them if everyone else was. I don't know why I felt like I had to be different and had to like force a bias. I really don't know why I felt like that. I don't know, I'm just kind of weird like that. I just kind of get scared, almost like anxiety about it, because I feel like people are going to judge me for who my bias is. And like, oh, like, I don't know, I feel like it happens with BTS a lot. Everyone biases the maknae line in BTS, and like if you bias the maknae line, people are kind of like, oh, okay, like you're just a maknae line stan, like of course you are. I don't know, like I'm not a maknae line stan. If anything, I'm a Hyung line stan. Like Yoongi is my number 1 bias and Jin's my second bias. But I don't know, I just kind of got worried that people would judge me for who my bias is, which I think is silly. I don't really know. I don't know. I really don't know why I felt like that, but I feel like I'm truly collecting and biasing who I want to collect and bias, and I'm really happy about it. I hope this isn't weird or like confusing for you. Basically, I just wanted to explain it because like I said, I've been leading up to completing my Twice collection, and now I'm not going to be completing it because it's changed and there's things that I need. And it's like far away from being complete. So yeah, I don't know. I really did not mean to talk for this long, but since I'm talking this long, I might as well just keep talking. But so basically what I did in my binder here is I decided to... So when I was collecting Chewy and Chaeyoung, I wasn't collecting them for anything before What Is Love except Twice Coaster Lane 1. But since I'm just collecting 2 members now, I decided I could collect Dahyun like all the way from The Story Begins all the way to Feel Special. And I also did decide to collect certain non-album things that I also collect for Mina. So like for Mina, I collect like all their trading cards and stuff and like all her monographs and stuff, as well as like all her special lenticulars from different trading sets and that kind of thing. I'm not going to be doing that with Dahyun, but I will be collecting her for like their Japanese albums, the ones that I was like standing twice for, so like Happy Happy, Breakthrough, Fake and True, and the In Twice repackage. I honestly forget what that song is called. Oh my god. But so like those things, as well as like the Japanese Polaroids that they have, because I think they're just pretty. So I wanted to collect just like 4 of Mina's and 4 of Dahyun's and maybe 4 of Jihyo's, just like to have some of them. I don't really need all of them, but they are pretty cheap, so that's why I decided to do that. But I really like Twice's non-album things, so I didn't want to not collect any non-album things, but I didn't want to collect too many things for Dahyun and Jihyo if I decide to collect Jihyo. So for Mina, I basically collect like everything non-album except like some of the rarer stuff. But like the Season's Greetings, I'll collect Mina for. The like pop-up store things, that kind of stuff, I genuinely really like them. And like I said, all the monographs and that kind of thing. I have a lot of Mina's monographs already and stuff, so that's I'm going to keep doing that. It's just I will be adding in some Jihyo and Dahyun just for certain sets that I want to, like things that are pretty. Like I said, the Japanese Polaroids, I just think they're all really cute and pretty. So I decided to collect just like some of them. Like if I have just some, I'll be content. Like I don't need like a full set for each of them to like feel satisfied. Like if I just have a couple of each of them, then I'm cool. I just saw myself do it, so I wanted to say something about it. Whenever I write on a paper, I shake it, and the only reason I'm doing that is because I use a gel pen, so I'm like shaking it to dry it off before I stick it in the sleeve so the stuff doesn't smear on the pocket. I just like saw myself do that like 4 times in a row, and I was like, people are probably gonna be like, what the heck are you doing? But yeah, so basically, since I did decide to give up Chaeyoung and Chewy, I am selling a lot of their cards and also willing to trade them for Dahyun things I need. So if you are a Chaeyoung or Chewy stan, please hit me up on Instagram, see what I still have left. I'm mainly wanting to sell right now just because there are some things that I need to be taking care of. But I will also trade them for Dahyun things that I need. There's also more OT9 sets that I'm collecting, like I said. So I am still looking for at least some things from each of the members. Mainly Dahyun and Jihyo, but I will obviously, for whatever it is, whatever OT9 sets I'm collecting. Like the Year of Yes, I decided to actually collect a OT9 set, and I'm really excited about it because I actually had the Jihyo card that I have in the Year of Yes section. I did not want to get rid of that card. Same with Chewy's. I looked way too hard for Chewy's to like just give it up. Like literally I searched for the Chewy one that I have in my binder, and I was like, I just can't get rid of this. Like I searched for months for this card. I'm not giving it up. So since I had those 2 cards that I just didn't want to get rid of, I just decided to collect an OT9 set for the Year of Yes, which might be silly, but I really wanted to do it. And those cards are so pretty. And that was actually the first Twice album that I bought, even though Fancy was my first comeback. When I went to FYE to like buy an album, that is all they had. They didn't have Fancy yet. They had the Year of Yes though, so that was actually the first Twice album I got. I got both versions, and I actually believed I pulled one of each of my biases when I first opened it. Like at the time, I'm pretty sure I pulled a Nayeon, a Dahyun, a Jihyo, and a Mina in those copies. So I feel like that's just like a sign that I need to go back to my original biases. Like, I don't know. I really don't know why. I think weirdly, I feel like because I'm putting my collection out there, it has to look a certain way and like function a certain way for people to like enjoy it. And like, I don't know. I think my thing was that like I want to be the only like if you when you think of me, like you think, oh, she biases Mina, not like, oh, she biases Momo and Jihyo, like everyone else, like she's just another Momo stan. Like, no, she's like the Mina stan, like the only one out there. Like, not really, but you know, I just thought I had to be original to keep people like wanting to see my collection, but I've realized that it's not how it has to work. So I don't know. I really don't know why I got so anxious and like insecure almost about that, but I did, and it was kind of sad. But I'm here to say that I have my collection the way I want it to be, and I'm really excited about it. So this is kind of like a restarting my Twice collection rather than finishing my Twice collection. Maybe that's what this video will be called. I don't really know. I was just gonna call it like making fillers for my Twice and girl group binder, but I like in the midst of me trying to film this and like make fillers and stuff, I was like, I think I'm gonna change my Twice collection around. The other reason is because, like I said, I have things I need to be paying for, so I was kind of looking for an opportunity to get rid of a lot of things and like make some money back. And I decided that my Twice collection was probably the biggest spot that I actually wanted to do that. Like, I am genuinely, it might sound weird, but like I'm okay with giving up my Chaeyoung and Chewy collection, and I think that's a sign that like that is not really what I wanted to be doing with my money and my collection and stuff like that. Like, there's no way I could give up collecting OT 13 for 17. Like, a lot of people were suggesting that to me, like, oh, you really are trying to make some money right now. You're trying to downsize your collection. Why don't you not collect OT 13 for 17? And really the reason I can't do that is because I'm so attached to them. But like, I was very okay with not collecting not collecting 3 members for Twice, and I feel like that's because I just wasn't as attached as I thought I was, or maybe that I was at some other point. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just genuinely happy with how my collection is. I'm excited to see it grow and how it's gonna look with just 2 members. I actually really struggled with figuring out how to set up for just 2 members, because with 3 members it fit perfectly in a 9 pocket. Like, it just looked nice. I could do like 3 3 across or 3 up and down. Like, it was just going to be easy. But for 2 members, it's kind of awkward. I kind of have to like make it like a little L shape and then like put a spacer in the middle for most of the things, because I don't know, it just kind of only works that way. But yeah, I'm just genuinely excited. I'm probably going to be doing like saving up Twice cards and like filling in my Twice collection and that kind of thing, just like Twice separate, because it's going through a lot of changes. So I feel like it'll be really satisfying to watch. And I think it'll be fun for me, like especially when we get a Korean comeback, to go back and see like what my collection looked like before the comeback and that kind of thing. So yeah. I really hope they do have a Korean comeback soon. There's been a lot of rumors about it because they've all been changing their hair. I think so far what we've had, I don't think Nayeon's changed her hair. Maybe she just cut it. I don't think Jungyeon did. Don't think Momo did. But I think Sana, Jihyo, Mina, Dahyun, Chaeyoung, and Chewy, all of them changed their hair. So like, I really hope we do have a Korean comeback. Not that I want to like overwork them or put them in danger because of the coronavirus right now, but like blonde Jihyo and Dahyun cards, like please. I love blonde Jihyo. We really need some blonde Jihyo photo cards. I will literally cry. Oh my god. And Mina's blonde now too. Like, I'm literally gonna sob. She's only had brown hair since, what was it, Cheer Up era. Like, she did have like red hair in the debut era, but like since then she has had brown hair for like every comeback. So I'm really happy that she has blonde hair now. Like, it's just something different, and I really want blonde hair Mina photo cards. Like, I think those would be so pretty. Something I did buy though is the Japan, like, is like arena, what is it called? The Tokyo Dome Polaroid set. I did buy that full set because Jihyo has blonde hair and Dahyun has blonde hair, and I was like, oh my god. Or sorry, Dahyun doesn't have blonde hair, does she? I think she has black hair in that actually, but Jihyo has blonde hair, and I was like, oh my god, I need this full set, literally because of this one Jihyo card. But the whole set does look pretty, so I was like okay with buying it. And it was actually, I actually found it for a decent price. I only found it for $22, and everywhere else I was like finding it for $30 to $40. So I was pretty happy. So yeah, anyway, I've been rambling so much. I honestly did not mean to talk for 25 minutes. I literally thought I was just gonna like say a little spiel about how I changed my collection and then like be gone, but I guess I decided to do a full voiceover for this whole thing. So I hope that's okay with you. I genuinely did not plan on doing that, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope you guys like seeing videos where I sort things and like make fillers and like kind of plan out my binders. I genuinely love watching these kinds of videos just to see how other people do their collections. Yeah, that is all I had for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.